Alright, so today in our bathroom build, we're putting in the ceiling, and with the last video we buttoned up that fan, the ceiling fan with the exhaust and all that. So now we gotta hang the ceiling. I did one piece already, but if you have new construction, there should be like a slot, like up in here and on the other side, we can slide the sheetrock in. It definitely helps to have a helper to hold the sheetrock in place while you use a couple of, if you're using 1/4 inch sheetrock, which is what I'm using, I've got like inch long coarse threaded sheetrock screws. So I'm sinking those in right now. I've got a couple holding it in place, and we'll continue to button this up and go, right down where these rafters are. I'm gonna follow the line and button it up, and we'll keep on going with the other side, and then we're gonna have to make a couple trim pieces of the middle. The way this bathroom's laid out, that was the best way that I could see to put the ceiling in, so it's kind of like an oddball size. Alright, so I'm going to continue on with putting these screws in. And you want to make sure you press up on the ceiling. And you're in line with the other screws. And you don't want to sink them down too far because, just a little bit for the mud to fill in. You don't want to leave them hanging out because you'll have a bump. So if you sink them in just a little bit, you should be alright. I want to make sure it grabs the wood on the other side of the sheetrock and it's nice and tight. Along the edge. And you want to space them out pretty evenly. If you have any questions, you can always comment, and I'll reply back to them for you. If you want to know how I did something, or if you have any concerns or suggestions, or you're a construction guy, you know how to do something better, we don't care, just comment, and we'll put it up for you. Right. So now, we've got to go over here, and that rib is done. And continue on this way. Like I said, don't go too far because that'll be an issue. Alright, so I'm outside. I need to cut another piece of my ceiling. So I'll show you how to do that when you cut in sections. And I've got an old ski mobile trailer I'm using as my table. It helps if you have a couple of sawhorses or a pickup truck bed or something that's up and off the ground to cut this stuff. It's pretty easy to do, so I'll show you how to do it. I've got to take my measurements first. So the ceiling's this bathroom's kind of an oddball size, so I've got to cut the length and the width on it. So I'm going to measure out like I did before. And let's see, I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to take my square to cut across, and then I'll have a nice perfect end. So I know like the length is 68 3/4, so I'm going to make my marks. There you go, right across. Big. Three marks with your pencil. What I like to do is kind of pull the piece off like that, and then the other one's like a T-square, which is one of these, and you can use it to make a straight line across the sheetrock. So match up your marks. Right. Then you take your utility knife, and you only have to score it like a few times, and then you can kind of break it off gently, and then score the rest of the paper with your knife. And this will help give you like a nice sharp line. Get in there, get the rest. Now we can go upstairs and put the rest of this in. Alright, one thing that I wanted to add is whatever part of the board you want to face out, make your cuts on that with the razor blade so it's a nice clean edge, because the back could have a tendency to rip, and then you'll have a million pieces of paper to repair. So whatever is facing outwards, make sure that that's the side you cut with your razor blade, and you'll have a nice clean edge and less mudding work to do. Alright, so it took us a couple hours, but now the ceiling is in, and what we have to do next is put up some walls, and it'll be all ready for mud and tape. So this is what it looks like. It's all the way to the end. So we'll be on to the next section of this project. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe to our channel.